Tfu by telling the maintenance man what I do for a living.
Mr. Reddit.
So this isn't really a huge fuck up but kind of a funny / incredibly cringy story. I recently moved into a new apartment and was having trouble with my washing machine, so the maintenance man came over to take a look. I happened to have my work computer open, and as he was leaving he saw I was working in an Adobe program. He asked what I do for a living and I told him I'm a graphic designer. He immediately got very excited and asked if I could hold on while he went to grab his phone. My first thought was that he was going to ask if I could make something for him, which is something I'm used to, but instead he comes back and starts explaining that his daughter is currently going to school for graphic design. I said that's awesome, and he asked if I could do him a favor and wait a moment while he called her. I said yes. This is where things got messy. There was already a bit of a language barrier going on because he isn't fluent in English, so I wasn't really able to ask why he wanted to call her, but I assumed he was just oddly excited to tell her he had met another graphic designer. Not the case. What he actually wanted was for me to speak with her. Background info: I'm a recent college graduate myself and have only been in the field for a couple of years. I'm also very socially awkward. He calls her, says some things in Spanish that I assume was something along the lines of I met someone who's a graphic designer. And then he proceeds to hand me the phone. Thrown off guard, I reluctantly take it, and on the other end is a very confused girl who sounded about the same age as me and was definitely fluent in English. We both had no idea what was happening. I don't know what her father thought we were going to discuss, but the exchange that followed was a series of awkward hellos and mumbled confusion as I tried to ask what he wanted me to say to her. He just kept gesturing and saying talk with her, but I wasn't prepared or comfortable talking about a job I'm new to myself, and it was obvious from her voice that she was also uncomfortable, so I just said I'm sorry and gave the phone back. Her father seemed to finally realize he had created a very uncomfortable situation, thanked me, and then left. I'm still cringing at how awkward I was. TLDR. I told my apartment maintenance man that I'm a graphic designer and he called his daughter expecting me to provide her with advice or something, but I'm too socially awkward.
Full passing gas on the dance floor. I'm a mid-30s female. Last night, I went out for a Halloween dance party. I worked really hard on my costume. I was the perfect combination of warm and slutty, and I was excited to strut my stuff. The way that this bar is set up is that there is a main level upstairs, and then you can walk downstairs to go to the dance area. It's a pretty small place, so it gets crowded. I had taken some mushrooms earlier in the evening, and I was feeling good. At some point in the night, I had to cut the cheese. I thought it would be a small one. I thought I could just crop dust it. But it was the most silent / deadly / toxic / foul mushroom stink bomb of my life. The smell from my ass destroyed the dance floor. People cleared out. It was so bad people thought that someone had an accident on the floor. Like they turned up the lights a little bit to see and make sure that there wasn't a health hazard. Even the DJ made a comment. I went upstairs because I couldn't stand the smell of my own ass. I was up there for about 30 minutes. And when I came back down, I could still smell my ass. It's all anybody could talk about. They thought someone had an accident. I had to play dumb. I was so embarrassed. TLDR, my mushroom gas smelled so bad that it cleared out a Halloween party, and the DJ even made a comment about how bad it smelled.
Tfu gave my boyfriend a back rub in the dark. This is a small tofu, but a foo nonetheless. I'm in a situationship with my on again off again boyfriend. This time around we decided to take things slow and be friends. As it turns out, we are best friends and get along great. Yesterday after work he came by to take care of me because I wasn't feeling well. He made me dinner and we laid in bed watching TV. I finally started to feel better and asked if he wanted a back rub as a reward for doting on me the last few days. He enthusiastically agreed. I just treated myself to new lotion from Bath & Body Works, so I grabbed the bottles and had him smell them to pick his favorite. It was dark, the only light was from the TV. I slathered him with the lotion thick because it smelled so good. Gave him an amazing back rub and we both fell asleep. This morning at 6 a.m. he woke up realizing he fell asleep at my place and was late for work. Not wanting to wake me, he got up and threw on clothes in the dark and left. A side note is he is a foreman for a large tree company. He works with a bunch of dudes and they are all manly and will tease each other endlessly. When I finally woke up, I was confused because it looked like my hands were covered in gold sparkly paint. I finally figured it out that for some reason the lotion had thick gold glitter in it. I texted him to alert him that he was covered in very noticeable glitter, but I was too late. The boys have already noticed. It's 2 hours into his workday and the teasing is only just began. He messaged me back that this probably makes us official as the crew will never let him live this down and I've officially marked my territory. TLDR, gave my situationship a back rub in the dark, not realizing the new lotion I used has lots of glitter in it. He woke up late, threw on clothes, and went to work covered in very noticeable gold glitter.
TFI and bought a haunted house next to a rapist TW suicide, SA. TFI, so I bought a log cabin on 10 acres in Texas. I had been looking and constantly scrolling Zillow. I was getting ready to give up. It sold for half the price of a townhouse in the nearby city where I work. I can't believe it happened. It's literally my dream house, and I never thought it would be possible. I am officially the out-of-town person who buys the obviously haunted house and can't believe what a deal it was. The last owner committed suicide. The realtor says not at the house, but still, not ideal. This is manageable. I can fill the house with life and love and happiness. The real big kicker is that after I had an accepted offer, I did the old sex offender search. The neighbor directly across the street broke into a house, tied up the boyfriend, robbed the place, and sexually assaulted a 17-year-old girl. He did his time and is out of jail. This happened in 2007. Maybe he's rehabilitated? He's rehabilitated, right? This thing is in the middle of nowhere, and the one neighbor is this guy. Other than that, there is no one around, which is what I wanted. He's definitely rehabilitated. Edit. Change 17 years old woman to 17 years old girl, because that's what a 17 years old is. Apologies for the mistake. TLDR. I bought a house in the middle of nowhere, and the one neighbor is a rapist.
Thank you all for watching. If you are interested, subscribe and watch other videos.